We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, March 23, The Nature of Present Truth, Part 1. Wherefore I will not be negligent to put you always in remembrance of these things, though ye know them, and be established in the present truth. 2 Peter 1:12. Each of the founders of Sabbatarian Adventism had a dynamic understanding of what they called present truth. Of course, the use of the term wasn't unique to them. The Millerites earlier had employed the term to refer to the imminent return of Jesus. And later, they applied it to the seventh month movement, that is, the proclamation that Jesus would arrive in October 1844. Thus, even in the Millerite use of present truth, we find a progressive dynamic in understanding. It was no accident that James White chose the title Present Truth for the first Sabbatarian Adventist periodical. Bates had used it as early as January 1847 to refer to the Sabbath and related truths. James White, in the first edition of his little publication in July 1849, after quoting 2 Peter 1:12, which speaks of being established in the present truth, wrote that in Peter's time there was present truth, or truth applicable to that present time. The church has ever had present truth. The present truth now is that which shows present duty, and the right position for us who are able to witness the time of trouble. He agreed with Bates on the content of present truth. The first two angels of Revelation 14 had sounded. Now it was time for the third. The early Sabbatarians definitely believed they had something the world needed to hear, but they realized that God still had more to reveal to them. That is, they saw truth as dynamic and progressive. As a result, Ellen White could write, in relation to the theological issues related to the 1888 General Conference session, that which God gives his servants to speak today would not perhaps have been present truth 20 years ago, but it is God's message for this time. Manuscript 8A, 1888. The Whites and Bates were open to further development of truth, and younger leaders evidenced the openness of the founders. Thus, Uriah Smith, for example, wrote in 1857 that the Sabbatarians had discovered the increasing truth since 1844. We have, he noted, been enabled to rejoice in truths far in advance of what we then perceived, but we do not imagine that we yet have it all. We trust to progress still, our way growing continually, brighter and brighter. How is it with me today? Is my mind still open for God's leading as He reveals truth in His Word? This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.